Yo, what up everybody, Farad Hashem checking in from Flick Refinery, and today we're going to recreate Party Next Door's PARTYMOBILE album cover. This is going to be a full tutorial on not only how I shot it, how I edited it, and also how we analyzed the original image to see how we can go about recreating it for ourselves. Definitely a bunch of cool stuff to learn here, especially about color grading in Photoshop. Make sure you tap in with me, hit all the notification bells for me, and share this video with your favorite Party Next Door fan. Let's go. Alright, so probably my favorite part of the video is just looking at what we're going to be recreating, analyzing that thing, and figuring out how we can go about capturing it. If you haven't seen the other videos I've already done, like the Drake Scorpion, a lot of the same elements of how we're going to go about recreating it apply. So let's look at the album cover. It's a dope cover. It's pretty simple, but just the way that they executed it is pretty cool. So I see the fact that I'm gonna take one image and flip it. They may have actually put a mirror up in front of Party when they shot this, but for me, I'm not doing all of that in the house. I know that in Photoshop we can easily take that image and transpose it, so I'm looking at it as taking that one image, right? And then now I'm looking at the image itself. All I see is really one light, one kind of hard light that's coming in, shining over the face. You see all that shadow on the side here. It's because they're using some kind of a hard light source here. It's not a big soft light that's filling in everything. We got a hard light source coming in here, and then obviously the colors play a big role in this one. So as you can see, this gradient of orange yellow tint over everything. So we're gonna definitely be doing some color work in Photoshop. To me, I picked this one because as cool as it is, I knew it would be pretty easy to recreate it. So let's go ahead and look at the image that I shot for this, and then we're gonna get right into Photoshop. This ain't gotta take all day. We're gonna get right to it because we shouldn't be afraid of Photoshop at this point. We should start to see that this thing is, it's just a tool. You just gotta practice, get the basics of this in your spirit, and you'll be able to go off and create whatever you want to do. So remember that this is really inspiration for us to create our own things. All right, so this is the image that we started out with. Real simple. It's one light through a reflector right in front of me, kind of shining down, similar to what we saw in the other image. And I just put up a white backdrop behind me, looked down, put some shades on, and just got into my PARTYMOBILE bag, I guess. And we're gonna start here, and then we're gonna go right into the editing of the image in Photoshop. So we begin by basically just cleaning up the skin some. I didn't see a whole lot of that done on the reference image, so I didn't spend a whole lot of time with this, but you know, just going in. We all have imperfections in our skin, just cleaning up a little bit with dodge and burn, removing blemishes, the very basics of it all. So after we go ahead and clean up the image a bit here, I actually try my best to put some dreads on for y'all. I hope y'all see how much I'm dedicated to this content. I tried to put some dreads on. We need to pause and look at that. So that didn't work out. So I said, forget that. We're gonna leave the fro, and we kept it moving. And I got right into the color work. Remember, we talked about the fact that there's some kind of a gradient that they placed over the whole image to give it that golden, that yellowish style. So we used the gradient map. We talked about it in a previous tutorial, but basically in a gradient map, we're able to select what the white or the lightest parts of the image are gonna be and what the darkest parts of the image are gonna be. So I went from like that tannish color to be replace all my whites with that tannish color, and then that more bronze or that more golden color. All of my darks would be that, and essentially you place that over the image, flip it to overlay, and it just gives that cast. Now there were a couple of tweaks that I made once I put that on the image. I saw that it really wasn't there yet, so to be honest, I just went ahead and I put in all of the different color grading options that I know of in Photoshop: the hue, saturation, vibrance, curves. I got into all of the different tools that I knew, and I just put them all in the folder and started tweaking. That's like one thing that you should realize with this example. I didn't know exactly how I was gonna get to be able to look exactly like the album cover, but I'm just confident enough to know that, oh, you can do it. It just might take some tinkering. So not an exact science with the color grading, but we nailed it. So it should just show you that you don't have to have a perfect idea of what you need to do in Photoshop. Just learn what the capabilities are, right? And then you'll be confident enough to try something new out that you didn't know you can do. This is a great example of it. So again, always making sure to bring up my reference and looking at what's happening with that. I went ahead and I started tweaking and fine-tuning the colors to where it started to look more like what was going with the Party Next Door cover. So I knew that once I got the image to where I wanted to look in terms of the color and the styling, all I would have to do is take that image, duplicate it, and flip it. I ended up making it like the 4x5 Instagram size. I flipped it, and then one of the easier things to do in Photoshop is to extend the background, and then I'm coming in here and just cleaning things up. And honestly, it's just by getting the lighting and the color right, we're really almost there, right? Like there's nothing really that you have to know how to do in terms of like flipping this image. There's not any science behind it. You just flip it, size it right, put it in the right context. I wrote my text over top of it, and we're on the home stretch here, just cleaning the thing up a little bit. This is what the final result ended up coming out to be. Looks very, very close. A lot of people hit me in the DM and say, yo, that one is pretty close. That's one of my favorite ones. I appreciate you. Another good example of you execute the shot right, get the lighting as close as possible to what you see in the original image. It really isn't that hard to add the little effects and things, right? Like how we flipped the image, mirrored it, added the text. Those other little elements make it closer to what your end result is. But at the root of this, if I didn't take that picture right, if I lit it differently, it just would have come off weird. It wouldn't have been right. A plus on this effort. So make sure that you continue to tap in with me. I'm going to be coming with these every week. Make sure you comment your favorite part of this tutorial, but also if you have ideas for other album art you want to see done, maybe if it's a movie poster or something that you've always been inspired by and you like to see me do it on the channel, make sure to comment that. Send this out again to your favorite Party Next Door fan or whoever. Send this out to somebody who needs to know Photoshop more. We don't need to be afraid of it. I'm here to help you. Shoot me a DM if you have any specific questions, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.